Hello, this is for the fourth Reflect and Connect. For this chapter 11, it really focused on like the repertoire and I guess general preparation for playing for these music students. It went over just like developmental needs, importance of like appropriate materials. Um, that's like a good summary to start off with. It started out with saying how what was it? No, it didn't start out. The chapter covered stuff like finding correct like good method books to find, um, how they like structure, they provide structure, um, and it gives like a good general approach like technique, theory, and musicianship. Um, this being like a good foundational baseline for students to learn. I'm going to stay right here that I connected this to me as a student by far, because when I was going through elementary school, I had to go, I didn't do like Suzuki method, I didn't even do like essential elements. I don't remember what textbook I did, but that textbook I don't think ever went over how to correctly hold your bow. And like anything about the bow. It was just more so about producing the notes and having it just like kind of make a semi-good sound without having to like talk about the minutia of it, if that makes sense. Um, yeah. Um, it also talked about like finding like works to play in any kind of environment, like evaluating the skill level of each instrumental section as well as the whole orchestra. Very important for deciding the rep to play and for creating like a lesson plan about the rep, or just saying, not saying, or just like finding out what challenges and goals and objectives you have for your ensemble to do. So if you have like very high goals and very like lofty objectives to an already experienced ensemble, you're going to choose a quite difficult piece. But the inverse of that is, pick a beginner or not as challenging level piece for your orchestra to do. Also talked about like variety, how like each different like era of music, be it like romantic, baroque, classical, they each have their own things, and each one could prove to be like a good challenge for these students. Um, Developing different characteristics of their playing and such, as well as making sure they're not bored, picking music that they like to play, or like they want to play. So like holding like an evaluation session with your students wouldn't be bad. Also, like speaking of rep, it's the chapter Gillespie and Hammond mentioned that you should have a good range of difficulty in your rep. He said like you could have a very advanced piece, or like a difficult piece, and a not so difficult piece, so the students don't feel like they're entirely overwhelmed. And if it's a difficult piece, then they might enjoy practicing it, because that's another thing that Gillespie and Hammond mentioned in the chapter, was that students were shown to like to practice just because they like their instrument, as well as if there's any difficult music or challenges for them to do, like they're going to practice it, they're going to get better at it if they like their instrument, just so that they can do it and know how to play the music properly. And some sections of the chapter talked about like method book like recommendations, be it those that I already mentioned, like Essential Elements, Suzuki, because those are like the standard for beginning strings. And it gives like, what's the word? They give methods for like choosing the books. Generally, teachers tend to go for Essential Elements or Suzuki, but it never hurts to like go through the actual process that they give. Just kind of making it the same stuff, almost how to do like repertoire, decide what each student needs, and needs like help with and work on, and then you can pick a book that specifically highlights or focuses on that little bit for majority of the book, just to be like, learning how to do it and play through it. I think that's pretty much summarizes the chapter. So, all right, all done.